And prompt four is the Western prompt. The quick intro to this is that I like Westerns. I like them enough. They're fine, they're good. I won't profess to be an expert on them, which kind of makes it feel like a decent thing for me to judge. I don't know what I'm doing here. So I'm not going to critique the form or the beats or the tropes. I just want a good story. So um, if it doesn't feel like a Western, no points against it. We'll see how y'all do. All right, our first story, Dullahan on the Prairie by Caligula Kangaroo. We got technical problems, quite a few by my eye. Um, First, I'll not so much technical, but I guess stylistic. The voice is not consistent enough for me. I see what you're going for, that sort of drawly Western, saloon swilling kind of guy, but it's from there are sentences where it just seems like you sort of forget about it, and there's a lot. I think I was noticing it too. It was a little distracting just how often you were beginning sentences, especially early on with but and there's also just some polish, some words missing from sentences. I know that's nitpicky, but look, if you want someone to take your story seriously, you gotta show me, as your reader, that you are taking it seriously. Otherwise, I stop caring. I don't know, and I'll tell you, for me personally, I see those things, and it's hard for me to stay invested. It's hard for me to pay attention, hard for me to do a whole lot of comprehending. So I'm not sure how coherent the rest of the story was because I got distracted by a lot of the stuff that could have been tightened up a bit. Um, I couldn't follow much of the action, and I couldn't follow much of the plot. I think what did kind of work for me was the relationship between the characters, the way they sort of interact with one another. It's pretty complicated, and I get the sense that it's not one dimensional. So I did appreciate that. Overall, though, just give this stuff a pass. Look through it, make sure that it's reading as it sings. You want these words to sort of flow, sentences to flow into the others. And just tighten these things up. Your story will be taken more seriously by more people. Again, I know this is a 12-hour process, but you know that's still time. That's enough time to read your stuff, read it out loud. And I will advocate for that greatly. Read your stories out loud. Even do this: record a video, record audio, just like hack them apart. Um, yeah, give it a shot. Okay, and next we have Porter's Crossing Woods by Phantom Muzzles. Phantom, you know that I don't know what to do with this. I can tell that you are screwing around here. I can tell that you did not make this many mistakes by accident. There's all kinds of crazy shit going on in this story from a syntax standpoint. Missing letters, missing. I know you're up to something. But you also know I'm not smart enough to try to figure it out. It just makes my head swirly. So I will judge this story pretending that you're not making some kind of a puzzle, and accordingly, I'll say you need to polish this, even though that can't possibly be valid. I will also say, though, all that other nonsense aside, I really enjoyed this. The voice is consistent, and I think part of why it's consistent is that it's short. You don't have to, it's hard. It's hard when you don't speak in a affected way like this to maintain a voice for any reasonable amount of time. But you do. The voice is consistent, even though it's just as affected as the previous story. It holds up a little bit better. Um, but yeah, I got distracted just like the last one because what the fuck is going on here? There's multiple letters, things miss. I don't know what you're doing. I know you're doing something. So I can't crit this. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this. The I can say to the environment, the mystery, I like that it's not just a straight western. There's clearly something magical, spiritual, paranormal going on, and I was digging it. I want to know what's in the woods. I want to know how it's going on. I just want to know all this stuff. But as the story degrades in structure and clarity, again, for what I'm sure are intentional reasons, I just got confused. So this story, if I had to give it a grade, I think the grade would be garlic bread. It's beginning to occur to me that the crits for your stories, Thran Guy, in the story Thran Guy's Luck of, are probably more wordy than the stories themselves, and that's fun. Um, Again, pretty efficient and nice and slick. I will say this one took me another. I had to read it again to catch it, and I'm still not entirely sure I understand what this is. I don't quite. get it. I kind of get it. I understand the concept of a duel and going first and last, and drawing quicker is obviously better. I don't know though who these people are. Like, I don't understand. I don't know. It could just be me missing something, but poor Jimmy backwards. Like, called him out at breakfast. They drew a big crowd. Ed drew quicker. Jimmy drew last. I can't. I'm. I'm not getting it. I we're drawing a crowd, so it's like a double meaning. Again, I could just be missing something. It could be me, but in comparison to the other stories that I've seen from you, this one doesn't quite have the immediate one-two punch that just leaves me getting it right away and being like, "Damn!" So, you know, it it's not bad, but that's sort of where I'm at. All right, that's the end of this prompt. I think it looks like, yeah, we're on to five. See you all soon.